In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed with countless tasks, ideas, and responsibilities, even myself as an intentional productivity queen. The constant juggling act often leaves us scattered, stressed, unproductive, or just plain burnt out. There's a simple yet powerful tool that can help you regain control, organize your thoughts, and create that intentional productivity. That's the brain dump list. So, as we get into today, welcome to the Being Better Everyday podcast, where we make your days more peacefully productive while you're juggling all the things. I'm your host, Julie Wenslick, a millennial mom, finance professional, and founder of P&W Designs. I know that as a mom, business owner, corporate girly, or a combination of all three like myself, sometimes life can feel like a lot. With the simplicity of systems and being better every day, we create habits, routines that support your life, create calm in the chaos, and put the you back in your everyday. Grab those headphones, put on your shoes, and join me on a walk while we dig in to today's episode. Ever have one of those moments where the weight of the world is just on your shoulders, where all of a sudden you feel like you were handling it all until you just weren't? Let me take you back to a normal, quiet Sunday morning. It was a day like any other where I woke up before the rest of the house, tiptoed down the stairs to make coffee in silence. What was different? The weight sitting on my shoulders and on my heart. As a full-time working mom and a woman who is also trying to grow a business, most days I feel like I'm handling it with grace and I'm kicking ass at this thing called life. I make time for me and my business and my family and my corporate job. But some days, like that quiet Sunday morning, I felt like I just couldn't shake the burden of doing it all. The best systems in the world wouldn't keep me from feeling like enough is enough some days. We all do what we can, myself included, and some days it's just about putting one foot in front of the other to being better every day. So, in today's fast paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed, and that's where the brain dump list comes in. Imagine your mind as a bustling city filled with thoughts, worries, and to dos. A brain dump list acts as a relief valve, allowing you to release the mental clutter and gain clarity. By taking the time to dump everything on paper, you free up valuable mental space, alleviating overwhelm and making room for those intentional focus activities. This is why it's always a weekly and sometimes daily practice for me in work and in my personal life. I would say I do it weekly for my personal life and for my business, and I do it daily, writing out my to-do list, clarifying my priorities for my corporate job. A brain dump list, some individuals also talked about it as like an open loop list or I think it's like a rock list if you go back to like the Franklin Covey method. It serves as a centralized place for all your ideas and tasks. By transferring your thoughts on a paper, you can create a tangible reference and you can revisit it and get it out of your brain. That's the most important part. Like I look at my desk as I'm sitting here recording, and for those of you on video, you can kind of see it. I always have some sort of brain dump list in front of me. If I don't have my full planner, I'm gonna have some sort of list in front of me. It's so beneficial for decluttering your mind. So how do you do it? Well, it's actually really simple. You take a pad and a piece of paper, and like I said, like my brain dump list in the shop, which is either sold out at the time of you listening to this or will be sold out soon, or just a simple pad of paper, and write down everything that is swirling around, simple as that. Now, if you are one who wants my brain dump plaid from PW Planners, email me. If I have enough of a demand before my next launch, I will get some ordered. Otherwise, you will be waiting for my next launch, so make sure you are on my email list. Once you've poured your thoughts onto your brain dump list, it's time to take control. Again, first up, just get it all on paper, and then you're going to review the list and identify the most important tasks and goals. You prioritize them based on urgency, significance, or topic. So home versus business versus family tasks, highlighters or different colored pens are a great way of doing this. By breaking down overwhelming projects into smaller, actionable steps or choosing the ones that move the needle the most, you'll regain a sense of control and motivation. Struggling with this step, again, try organizing your list into macro categories. So even on the brain dump list that I designed, and this one I should pull a blank page here for those who are on video, it has a little 2-line space within each of the things. So there is a short line and then a long line. And the reason for that is so that you can kind of categorize out your brain dump list. Then after you've categorized it, then you're going to highlight with an erasable highlighter based on the day or week you're targeting to tackle that task. Sometimes you're not going to get it all done in 1 week, and that's okay. But at least it's on paper, and then you can revisit it every Sunday to prioritize and rewrite your list. If you use a disc planner system, like a lot of my custom planner clients do, or if you're familiar with Happy Planner, you can actually move the list then each month or week and not having to constantly rewrite it, which is also super helpful. Once you have the brain dump to visualize, kind of what has been bothering you, what has been overwhelming you in your brain, as you work through the list, it'll also help you see tangible progress. By visualizing your accomplishments, you'll again gain that momentum. It'll fuel your productivity even further. Another benefit, and one that really helps me, especially as I get into busy season at work, is reducing the anxiety by helping you take the burden off your brain and onto paper. Lists are your friends. The results, intentional productivity, reduced stress, and time put back into your life. The second part of this is definitely an essential part, and that is the daily focus 3. I talk about this with the Better Everyday 5 habits, but sometimes staring at a long brain dump list can feel overwhelming in and itself. You don't know where to start. So, and even after you've categorized it, it still is overwhelming to look at the whole list. So, that is why I recommend parsing out the brain dump list into 3 tasks a day and ignoring the rest of the list. If 3 is even too much, you can do one big rock, one big task, one big focus item every single day. Again, kind of prioritizing what are you going to focus on for that day. If you want to know how to determine your daily focus 3, there are 5 kind of simple steps. Number 1 is just reviewing your brain dump list. Begin by reviewing your brain dump list and make sure it's categorized so you can kind of see, okay, where are going to be my slots in time within the week that I can actually take these tasks and accomplishment. Second is assessing that urgency and importance. So again, not every task is created equal. There are going to be some that you're going to want to do because they're more fun, and there's going to be some that are going to move the needle more forward. Or there might be some that have deadlines, right? Erasable highlighters are going to be a great way for you to kind of assess that urgency. So, for example, you could say, okay, all of my urgent tasks need to be pink, or all of the tasks I need to get done on Monday are going to be pink, or I have a deadline for something on Friday, and all of these tasks are related to that deadline, and I need to get them done, right? So, kind of parsing out and then being able to put it in your planner. The other thing that's can be helpful depending on how you time block your day is evaluating your capacity. Again, making sure you've time blocked. Look back at the episode 3 with regards to time blocking. We will link it. I believe it's episode 3. It might be 5. And then look at your time, energy, and external constraints. So, one of the ways of taking your brain dump list and your focus 3 and integrating it into your planner and into your time blocking is to say, okay, I'm going to use my business as an example. Every night between 8 and 9, I have an hour to work on my business. So, what task, because in an hour, it's usually only one task, what task am I going to do Monday through, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in those 4 slots? And then you can actually write it in the time blocking section on your planner. Or if you run your business during the day, you could say, okay, morning block is this task, afternoon block is this task, and kind of segment not just on a list, but on your time so that you can see when you're going to accomplish those focus tasks. The one thing that you shouldn't fall into the trap of, and I will do this, and it kind of depends on the day. So if you don't have a lot of mental capacity, if you're focusing on something in the evening, for example, again, if you're running a business or you're just tired from your day and tired from kids, then this may not ring true. But try not to focus on just what we call small pebble tasks, things that maybe you enjoy more, but don't actually move the needle or accomplish what you need to actually accomplish before deadlines. Like I said, mental capacity here has a huge impact on this. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't have a mental capacity to handle one of my big rock tasks right now, well, then maybe you just do a small pebble task. But make sure that you kind of schedule in that time to do your priority tasks for the week and then know when you're going to be doing them. This is going back to why planning each week is so important. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a Sunday. Sometimes I do it Monday morning, sometimes I do it Friday afternoon, sometimes I do it Sunday. It really kind of depends on the week. But resetting every single week and making sure I know my ongoing brain dump list, my daily focus items, scheduling in my Better Everyday 5, kind of creating that consistency and clarity in my routines and habits to make sure that there's no overwhelm in that system. So, after you've kind of assessed, again, reviewing your brain dump list, assessing the urgency, considering your capacity and time for the week, know which ones are going to give you impact and value, then it's time to actually select your tasks and write them in. So again, they should be the important, urgent, and feasible ones that you can make an impact on your brain dump list for the week. I mean, a really silly example of this too is just like, okay, well, if registration is opening for sports during the week, making sure that's scheduled. Again, you could also choose, we've talked a lot about writing this all down on piece of paper, but one of the other things you could do is if you are not a pen and paper person when it comes to your daily tasks, you could brain dump on a pad and paper and then schedule in the tasks on your calendar app and set reminders or use ClickUp, right? There are systems that have the same accomplishments if you aren't a pen and paper person when it comes to your daily focus 3. But I think the key here is don't let overwhelm hold you back when you're reaching your vision that you have set for your life. You should be embracing the empower of a brain dump list and your daily focus 3. Watch as it changes your approach to daily productivity. Take the time to pour out your thoughts, organize them, and take intentional action. With each tick of that list, you'll inch closer to your goals and enjoy a calmer, more purposeful life, and will be on a journey towards being better every day. So give it a go and let me know how it goes. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Being Better Everyday podcast. To see any visuals, head over to my YouTube channel. Links, socials, and resources mentioned can always be found in today's show notes. I truly appreciate you leaving a rating and review to help me reach more women looking to build systems to be peacefully productive. If you are looking for more, you can always find me on Instagram at julie.pwdesigns, sharing the behind the scenes of my everyday life as a millennial mom, corporate girly, and small business owner. Until next time, keep on taking one step at a time towards your version of being better every day.